This is an important announcement from Easy Genie. That's my company, and I'm hoping my genealogy friends can share this or stitch it or help other people know about this particular tool that I'm making freely available online. It's the 1870 Federal Census Household Tracker. It's a fillable PDF, meaning you can type into it. So you can see I've entered some information already, and maybe if I wanted to enter somebody else's name, I could do that too. I could just start typing and it goes right in. This is a really helpful tool for anybody who has used the 18 federal census before for several reasons, and I'm going to explain them right now. This is an 1870 census document. I downloaded it for free from Family Search, but as anybody who has worked with the 1870 census knows, there's a couple limitations of it, and I'm going to go through that right now. One of the limitations is the handwriting can be inconsistent. Sometimes it's easy to read, oftentimes it's hard to read. If you're not familiar with cursive, it can be a little bit trying. You have to ask for help. Another limitation of this particular record is, you can see this right here, the column headers are often kind of rotated 90 degrees, which means that in order to read them, you have to start rotating the documents 90 degrees so you can read it. Oh, that's value of the real estate. Oh, this is whether the parents were foreign born, and then you have to rotate it back. And then another problem I found with this particular document, and this is true of many census returns, is sometimes the data is just not accurate. Like whoever enumerated this particular sample of the document, whenever they identified somebody who could not read or cannot write, they also checked them off as being mentally or physically handicapped. And you just go through this and you're thinking, what was this person thinking? Maybe they were instructed that way. Maybe it's some other prejudice. Maybe it's just they just didn't really understand the way the form was supposed to be written. But this is a piece. This in column 18 is just can't be trusted, because you can clearly see if the person was couldn't read or write, they were just written off as being handicapped in this way, and that's just not right. So the 1870 Federal Census Household Tracker, I designed this basically to make it easy to track the information that you find in the 1870 census, organize it in a way that's easy for you, so you can just cut out the names that are not related to your family. You can put in their ages very clearly, and then importantly, you can add other notes. So research notes about this particular family. So determine this is the correct Shields family. Maybe you can identify related family. Carl Williams, born 1859, married Martha Shields in 1896. And then at the bottom of the form, you can type in other information for specific people that you want to call out for some reason. So such as occupation, whether they had foreign-born parents, education, literacy, state value, and other details. So this is basically a tool to help you organize your 1870 federal census data. You can type into it. You can make as many copies as you need. If you don't have a computer with a good keyboard, or you're using your mobile device, you can just print it out and just write by hand. So this tool, it's completely free. I'm making it free on the Easy Genie website. It'll be free forever as long as my company is operating. And I just want to talk also about the reasons why I made this particular document free, and some other history behind this particular effort. So about 2 months ago, American Ancestors magazine, which is the magazine of the New England Historical Genealogical Society, released information about the 10 Million Names project. And NEHGS is heavily involved in this. You can see on this particular page, the project website, some of the people that are involved, and people you will recognize if you're a genealogist. And basically what this project is all about is trying to identify the 10 million people who were enslaved in the territory that is now the United States between the early 1600s and 1865, the date of emancipation. Actually, this particular essay on the 10 Million Names website kind of really talks about the history of this particular project and the impetus for doing it and why it's so important, and also how anybody can get involved in this by documenting family stories, by looking into the records, and trying to identify the names of the people who were formerly enslaved. There's lots of resources on this website. And I realized as I read it that actually there's an opportunity to utilize one of the tools that I'd already developed for Easy Genie, and that was the 1870 federal census household tracker. Originally, this was a paper document. We sold them in sets of 7 online. They didn't really sell that well. I'm not really sure why, but we withdrew it from sale. But then when I saw the 10 Million Names Project pop up, I was like, okay, this is actually really important, because the 1870 federal census, as many people will know, it has 2 important innovations for many Americans, and for Americans whose ancestors were immigrants. It identifies whether they were naturalized and also whether their parents were foreign born. And also, it's the first census where people who are African American, who were formerly enslaved, that they were identified by name. Because before the 1870 census, they were not identified by name if they were enslaved. And this makes the 1870 federal census really important. And also, not in addition to having their names, this is an example, it also gives where they were born. And if you can identify where they were born, you can do further research to try to break through the so-called 1870 brick wall. Here's how to download this free 1870 federal census tracker PDF that you can type into. There's a link in my bio. It says easygenie.org. Tap on that. When you come to this particular page, click on the link that says fillable PDFs or PDF downloads, and click on that. You'll come to this particular page. At the very bottom are all the free PDFs that we have. We actually have quite a few of them. And where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. Find the 1870 genealogy PDF download. You can see it's free. Click on that, and then just add it to cart and download. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to enter credit card information. You can just download it right away. We recommend opening this on a PC or a Mac using Adobe Acrobat Reader. It's not designed for other programs such as a web browser or Mac Preview or anything else. It's pretty easy to use. You can just start typing right away. You can save a new copy for each family that you're using. And then also on our website, we have a video which explains exactly how to use it. So I hope this really helps people who are researching their ancestry, whether they're researching immigrant ancestors or ancestors who are African American, who were formerly enslaved, or anybody really whose ancestors appeared in the 1870 U.S. federal census. You can use this document. If you have a chance to tell other people about it, that would be great. You can share the link if you want. And basically, this is something that I'm releasing for free to help other people research their ancestry if their ancestors appeared on the 1870 federal census.